Don't forget to like and subscribe, and share your opinion down below. Our stories today are from the subreddit r/relationship advice. Check the description for the source and timestamps. Am I the a-hole for shaving my sister's head? I, 20M, have been the legal guardian of my younger sisters, 9 and 13, for a little over 4 years. My mom's been out of the picture for a long time, and my dad left when I was 16, which is what prompted me to gain guardianship. My 13-year-old sister, Chloe, was diagnosed with glioblastoma multiforme on the 20th of March, and started chemotherapy on the 25th. She started losing hair shortly after, which caused her hair to get tangled and matted. Last week, she had gotten so sick of her hair falling out and tangling, and she asked me to shave her head for her. Obviously, I did just that. Afterwards, she decided that she needed some space, so I left her alone for a couple hours. When I checked on her, she said she was feeling much better than she did before she had her hair shaved off. I have a Facebook account that I really only use to keep my family updated about me and my sisters, and it's the only contact I have with my parents. Chloe gave me her permission to post a picture of her so that she wouldn't have to tell as many people. Most of her friends' parents are Facebook friends with me. A few hours later, I had a bunch of direct messages from my parents telling me that I still have to get permission from them to alter her appearance like that, insulting me, etc. I responded and told them they chose not to be a part of her life, so they don't get a say. I asked my friend to be a third party, and he said that since I technically adopted Chloe, I should respect my parents' wishes. Should I apologize to my parents? Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments. What? You are your sister's guardian parent. Not those people who donated some DNA. Their opinions are irrelevant. Why your friend thinks you should respect the wishes of people who chose not to be in your lives is beyond my comprehension. Not the a-hole. All girls should have a big brother like you. Not the a-hole at all. Don't apologize. Speaking as someone whose dad still refuses to be part of my life until he can hang it over my mom's head or steal from her using us. If they choose not to be a part of her life and you are her legal guardian, they have no say over what she does with her own body. Not the a-hole. Please shut down the outside noise on what goes on with your family. Their opinions were not asked for, nor should they have been given. Good on you for stepping up and taking care of your sisters. I commend you for that. Am I the a-hole for encouraging my wife to do traditionally girly things and setting a bad example for our daughters? I, 44M, am married to a wonderful woman, 42F. We have 2 daughters together, 9 years old and 11 months old. We struggled to have our second for a long time and my wife had multiple miscarriages that significantly affected her, and we had given up and joined a couple of adoption lists when she found out she was pregnant again. As a result of these issues, she stepped back from her work as a stats analyst as we could afford to lose her income and reducing her stress was way more important than the money. In her free time, she started knitting with her mum. Her mum passed away a bit over 2 years ago and left my wife with, literally, hundreds of half-finished knitting projects. My wife took them on as a way to feel closer to her. After our second daughter was born and most of the projects were finished, she had the idea to start selling them at our local Sunday market and has had great success doing this. She had been putting money aside prior to Christmas to buy a proper trailer for the market and a juicer so Miss Nine could set up a juice stall if she wanted. I got an unexpected Christmas bonus from work and decided to buy the trailer and juicer for them as a surprise, which they loved, and my wife used the money she saved to set up a website for her small knitting and clothing repairs startup. I think this is great as it's low stress for her and she seems really happy. The problem came up because my mum visited us over Easter and was not at all happy when she found out about my wife's new business idea. She went mental at me for encouraging my wife to throw away her career in favor of something girlier and said it would never succeed and I was the a-hole for wasting my Christmas bonus on the trailer when I could have spent it on a holiday or given money to family. I ended up asking her to leave because she was screaming in front of the girls and upsetting them. Now I am conflicted. On one hand, my wife assures me that this is what she wants to be doing, But on the other hand, my mother is never like this, so I feel I must have really done something wrong. Now almost a week on, there's still a huge family argument over this and I feel like it's my fault. AITA here? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Your wife made a decision to pursue a business based on a hobby that has a lot of emotional meaning to her. You're being supportive of that. As long as neither of you is forcing your daughters to do girly things they don't want to do, it's fine. Also, your 9-year-old is getting a front row seat to see how a small business is run. Your mom's reaction was probably more about her than you. Not the a-hole. It sounds like these decisions are driven by your wife, and you are just supporting them. Looking down on traditionally female jobs and arts is actually pretty sexist. Women shouldn't be restricted to only those roles, but they shouldn't be looked down on for doing them either. They should command just as much respect as any other job or art, and anyone of any gender should be able to do them with pride. Not the a-hole. The point of equality is choice. It's just as empowering to be a stay-at-home wife mum as it is to be a CEO of a multinational corporation, as long as it's what you choose to do. You've supported your wife when she needed to step back from her previous job for her mental health, and you're supporting her and your daughter in this new venture. You're showing your wife that her passions and dreams matter to you, and you're showing your daughters that it's okay to go after what you want, whatever that is, as well as modeling what a supportive and healthy relationship looks like. Am I the a-hole for not letting one nephew move in? I, 45M, live in a 3-bedroom house alone. I am doing financially fine financially, but my younger sister, Lisa, is not. She has asked if she and her kids could move in with me temporarily so they could get back on their feet. She is my sister and I want to help her, but there is a problem. Her oldest son, Hunter is a 22-year-old high school dropout that has worked maybe 6 months in the last 4 years. He sleeps all day, plays video games and parties at night. My sister does everything for him and he treats her like crap. More than once I have had to walk out of her house to avoid teaching that boy a lesson. I told Lisa that she and her younger son, Jordan, M16, are welcome to stay with me, but Hunter is not. I will not tolerate his behavior in my home. I just won't. My sister says that she is not going to live anywhere where her son can't stay as well. I can understand why she feels that way. But I know that Hunter will end up mouthing off and I won't stand for it in my home and things would get bad. I'm not going to put myself in that position. My sister has to move out of her current rented house in 2 weeks. Lisa is not working, she was laid off, but hopes to be called back soon. Right now, no one wants to rent to her because her credit is terrible. She is getting unemployment, so she does have some money coming in. Lisa says that I am the only one she can turn to. I've told her I will help, but I will not let Hunter in my house. He doesn't have any kind of disability unless you want to count laziness. I refuse to work to put a roof over the head of a grown man who refuses to support himself. This isn't a case of someone who can't find a job because of the pandemic. There are plenty of jobs available around here for someone willing to work. There are warehouse jobs available. There are delivery jobs available. Lisa says that she would rather the whole family be homeless together than abandon her baby. I told her it's her choice. My door is open for her and Jordan. I also offered to just let Jordan live with me if that would help her out. Lisa is telling me that I am a hole for not welcoming Hunter into my home. That I am her family and she needs my help. Family is supposed to stick together and I am letting her down when she needs me. I hate the idea of my little sister and Jordan being homeless. I was brought up to believe that you help your family if you can, so I feel bad about not doing what she wants me to do. But I know myself well enough to know that I won't tolerate Hunter's behavior. Am I the a-hole for not letting him stay? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Your house, your rules, especially as he is 22 and old enough to look after himself. And Lisa is an a-hole if she is really willing to allow her 16-year-old to become homeless when there is someone willing to take him in. If she doesn't want to abandon her baby, that is her choice, but it shouldn't be at the expense of Jordan. Not the a-hole. If she still hasn't realized that Hunter mooches off of her, then she is in trouble. Sometimes tough love is needed. After a while of being homeless, Hunter should, no guarantees, understand that he needs to get his shit together, and if he doesn't and she still wants him there, then leave her. But I would talk to Jordan. He is 16, he can come live with you. I am assuming that because you are fine with him, he is a good kid, so maybe take him so he doesn't have to struggle. Help him finish school and everything. I think it would benefit him. Your sister has made it clear that her baby can do whatever he wants without consequence. There is no reason to believe he won't continue to be a lazy, entitled, and disrespectful in your home. Once they move in, you might have difficulty kicking him out once he starts acting like a jerk. Your sister's situation is unfortunate, but it is of her own making. Family should help family, but not at the risk of causing yourself harm because of another's bad behavior. I feel sorry for Jordan. Not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for practically getting my neighbor evicted? I, 26F, moved to a new apartment complex 7 weeks ago. From day one the kids next door, 4 of them ages 8-13, have made it their business to stomp and run in front of my door and bang on my windows at all times of day and night. I ignored it the first couple weeks since I'm new, live alone and not trying to alienate anyone. Eventually though I ask the kids if they can be mindful and maybe just slow down every once in a while. They ignored me and it kept on. I asked them a couple more times in the next few weeks to no avail. Asked their mother as well and she got petty and now every time she's with them I hear her telling them to run while laughing. So, the last 2 weekends have been hell. Fast forward to today, I got home from a 10-hour customer service shift with a headache and a few entitled customers under my belt. Per usual the kids were running except this time they had 3-4 more neighborhood kids doing the same thing. I once more walk out there to tell them if they can run towards the other staircase just today as I have a headache. One of them, the property assistant manager's kid, 10ish, apologizes and tries to get them to stop and play on the actual playground. This is when the dad, 40M, comes out puffing his chest, aggressively asking what the problem is. I explained to him that I've been politely asking his children and wife if the stomping and hitting my door and window can stop for the last month and a half. Told him today especially I have a migraine. I explained that I have no problem with them playing and being loud, just the hitting the windows and running and stomping has to stop. He started getting even more mad and told me go F yourself. They're gonna do whatever the F they want and if I have a problem to take it up with the leasing office. Told him I'd do just that and proceeded to go inside. As I was closing the door the assistant manager's daughter, 10F, tells him you are mean, she has a headache, my mum gets those. Now this grown-ass man yells at this kid to mind her business, at which point his adult, 18F, daughter comes out asking if she's gonna throw hands, pushing and terrifying her. She runs off before I even had a chance to take in what just happened and comes back with her mother, Rachel 30F. Now she was pissed and told the guy to start packing his things and that she'd be serving him with an eviction notice and a police visit too if he refused to leave, for basically terrorizing her daughter. My neighbors are furious now. They've been playing loud music for hours and yelling and banging on our shared wall. Am I the a-hole for being the catalyst for the whole situation? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, you shouldn't terrorize your neighbors. Also, kids need to know when they can be loud and rowdy and when they can't. It's called respect. They obviously don't care. However, it sounds like it's more of the terrorizing of the manager's daughter than your issues. Not your fault at all. I have loud kids. Naturally we all walk like elephants and our voices carry and are naturally louder than most. I've learned to be quieter but my kids are still learning. I would never live in an apartment with them. What a nightmare for everyone. Not the a-hole. Obviously not the a-hole. The kids' parents sound entitled and failing at parenting. Kids need to be taught from a young age on to respect their neighbors, and that a shared space like that only works if people are considerate of each other. Banging on other people's windows and doors is not okay, and I can't believe they just let them do that and take their side. I would have gotten into hella trouble if I did that as a kid. They're just kids only works if the kid is behaving wrong and the parents then teach them what not to do, but is commonly used to enable kids to do whatever they want so the parents don't have to deal with parenting. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story as much as I did. Don't forget to add me on Twitter and check the shirts I post on Teespring if you're interested. Links in the description. Until next time.